Everton make light work of their points deduction? And can Aston Villa really win the Premier League?
Good evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. How are you?
Good. I am very good.
You may notice we sounded a little bit more robotic. We have been trying a new setup at the bunker because of we are aware. We do apologise for last week's and a couple of other weeks. The audio, especially on my behalf, has been a bit more quieter. We weren't entirely sure what's been causing that. We haven't done anything different than what we've done for the past 74 episodes, but recently it's been a bit annoying. It's one of them ones where the comments we've had back from people is if I listen to in the car or on a laptop or whatever, it's okay, but in the headphones it does become basically inaudible because it's the difference is so different. And we're just looking at the mixer now by this level. Hopefully this level is the correct level, but then for some reason last week it dropped down at 26 minutes. So.
Yeah, and I think, obviously I won't bore everyone when we don't really know, but I think tonight it's going well. The sound, it seems
it's going well for the 1 minute and 15 seconds we've been on.
So when it gets about 20 minutes, but no, for now it's definitely it's going okay. So so if you're
this mic
still
could
listening,
not be closer to my mouth if I try.
If you're listening, even from last week, we appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's start with the teaser. And I was at the Emirates yesterday for a lovely 2-0 victory. But James Milner made his 630th appearance in the Premier League yesterday. Mm-hmm. Jerry's only 2 behind Ryan Giggs now.
Really?
Which is nuts.
That is nuts.
But can you name 8 players that also played in his debut game? Obviously, I don't expect you to know the game, so it is West Ham United versus Leeds United.
Okay.
In 2002.
All right, give it a go.
That is the game. Eight players. I've given you it's quite a lot, but when you think of that era, I think you could reel off some players.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Right,
so tonight's episode, if you can hear us, is going to be a bit of talk on the informed teams of the Premier League so far. Everton and Aston Villa mainly, and maybe a touch on a couple of other clubs and relegation clubs.
Yeah,
and our usual end.
We'll just probably hover over all, maybe a few of the sides, what's happening at the top. But like you said, we'll start on the blue side of Merseyside. Yeah,
and Everton have been a club that have been given a bit of stick in this podcast by me especially, for how they've been run, and I think they should have been gone down. I think they should have been relegated 2-3 years ago, personally. But they've hung in there. They've had their 10 points deduction, and that is just lit an absolute fire in their bellies, and they have been flying 4 consecutive wins, 4 consecutive clean sheets, and they haven't been against any old team. Forest away, you won there at the weekend on Friday night. Tough place to go. Win there. What was it? 1-0. 1-0 clean sheet.
1-0, yeah. 1-0, my man.
Home to Newcastle, 3-0 battered them. Chelsea 2-0 battered them, and at the weekend, Burnley away 2-0.
And again, like you said, the fixtures have been hard, but we're talking about Everton who are supposedly struggling, but so any game for them is difficult. But I think jump ahead, but the deduction has almost, like you said, galvanised them. There's a lot of that words like that being thrown about Dyche's team and Everton, and maybe that point deduction has put it in black and white in front of the players and said, right, they've woken up and realised we need to actually play some football. And they're not a terrible they're not a terrible group of players. It's a limited squad. The numbers aren't great and the depth isn't great, but they're just clearly not bottom 3 side. And maybe that group and Sean Dyche how they're playing now, or what they're trying to do and how they're performing is what he wanted from the start, and it's what any manager wants. But he's probably kicking himself, thinking, like, why is it taking this to this point, to this stage to start playing? But maybe that's what the group of players needed, and now they're like a decent. Now it's like, Everton away is tough, or Everton at home they're gonna be good. So. And
their latest 3 points they picked up on Saturday night gets them 7 points clear of the relegation zone, considering they had a 10-point deduction. But in reality, if they hadn't got that 10-point deduction, and obviously it's all if, buts and maybes, they'd have picked up 26 points this time, and that was in level on 8th place Brighton.
Yeah, I think they'd be 8th or 9th depending on goal difference. But yeah, 26 points. And that's more than if they, again, without the 10 points, they would have been on 26, which is more than the bottom 3 combined. And they're flying. They'd be talking about Europe. I think Jamie Carragher said it at the week. Jamie Redknapp, said it the weekend about they'd be probably looking towards Europe. And yeah, they are in that sort of form.
Well, I remember when I went and watched them live this season against Luton at Goodison. Oh, Jesus Christ, they were bad. They were really bad.
I think we played them yet.
I thought this is going to be if they can somehow stay up, and they were lucky to stay up. Because I think they were lucky that this season there were 3 bad teams in that league. But they are now. We look at them, like you said, they have on paper they haven't got a bad squad. They just have been playing really badly for best part of 2 years now. And Sean Dyche has finally seemed to be getting a proper tune out of them. And you see the performance on Saturday. Although, granted, Burnley aren't playing well, really short confidence.
Burnley are part of that.
They scored 2 absolute Sean Dyche goals.
Yeah.
Lomp it forward, win the first ball. Even more importantly, win that second ball, get the goal. And that's what. And they build off clean sheets. Sean Dyche's team has always been. Remember the old Burnley? You had Nick Pope, Ben Mee, and Tarkowski. Them 3 were like staunch for them who play fantasy football. You had to have one of them players in your team because every other week they were getting 6 points, 6 points. And Everton, you weren't doing that with these teams because Tarkowski, they would always concede leaky goals. Pickford, no goal. I think Pickford and Vicario got most clean sheets in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think Pickford's got 6 clean sheets as a goalie, and Newcastle got 7 as a team, obviously. So they've played a couple of goalies, but yeah, Pickford's got the most out of any goalie. 6 for Everton. Like we said, their position isn't true as such, but yeah, and that like Dyche has suddenly got that side. He probably hates it, but a typical Dyche team, and like you said, those players, Tarkowski, even Keane now, and I think maybe that played a factor in their result at Burnley, that Dyche returned, Tarkowski going back, Michael Keane going back. Gives another edge to certain players.
And I think what's helped them massively is that, touch wood for their sake, Calvert-Lewin has put probably 6 or 7 games together now, whereas before he was
in and out
all the time. He didn't play for most of last season. And they've had that settled 4-4-1-1 formation that is just literally power. And it's got a nice balance on the side of the wings. And I think that I saw a stat earlier. No team in the Premier League has put in more crosses than Burnley have this season.
Everton or Burnley?
Everton, sorry. And you've got McNeil playing well, your mate, putting in crosses. And the other side, which is a bit of a potentially a shrewd signing for a club that have no money, Jack Harrison out on loan. And he's been doing quite well. He came on at half-time when I saw him against Luton, and he was actually a bit of a bright spark. I always thought he was reasonably, but not a reasonably good player. You know what I mean? He's Premier League quality. He wasn't ever going to play the Championship last season.
And he's gone into Dyche's team. And again, we're not talking about him like, oh my God, Jack Harrison, what a player. But he's a bit similar to McNeil in that Dyche can get hold of him and go, right, beat your man and cross the ball. I don't want you dropping in and getting on the ball and spraying the ball and doing this, doing that. I just want you to stay out wide, almost old-fashioned, and stick to the touchline.
Do the basics.
Get chalk on your boots. So the classic cliches, but if you get space, cross the ball in. And like you said, to Calvert-Lewin, when he's fit and he's playing a run of games, crosses into the box, he'll attack them, corners, set pieces. I think Everton have had 81 corners this season, 7 goals. So a goal every 11.6 corners apparently, and that's the best in the league.
But that Onana goal just typified what Dyche is about. They cross game, and he absolutely battered. There
was no one else. No one else.
Get out! That, what a header!
Yeah, no one else is getting near it, and that is almost that sort of football. I'll talk about him later on as well, but that sort of football and the goals they're scoring and how they're playing football now is what Everton need. The fans, that blue side, they need that. They're not about playing out from the back and doing all that. They're just work hard, knuckle down, and I've said it before, but they're a team with Seamus Coleman's. They're not about these flair players and stuff. That is. And
he's a player they probably missed.
Yeah,
that he gives them, like you said, they are a team of Seamus Coleman's. Sorry, but they miss that. He's got, what's the word, like Evertonism. That's what I'm trying to think. It might sound a bit cringe, but they've had the likes of Tony Hibbert, and when Rooney was back there, Ferguson. They haven't got anyone they can really get. But there's no local lad there. The last one was Gordon, who they gave a lot of stick to on last week against Newcastle, and rightly so for them. He turned their back on the club, and and whatnot. But speaking to a friend of mine who's Everton, they haven't got many likeable players. Like they don't.
I think Calvert-Lewin, they were hoping he was, or even looking from the outside, that he was going to be that person. But like you said earlier, he just never fit. He just doesn't get that run of games.
He doesn't fit like an Everton working man start. He's just not.
I think he could be because he'd be like your number 9, like you're leading that striker, like lock the ball in, win headers, hold the ball up. But yeah, he's never been fit enough. But yeah, I mean we're talking about Everton, like we aren't. Oh my God, they're world beaters and Everton's so good. Sean Dyche is unbelievable. But for me anyway, I don't love Everton. I've never disliked Everton. They are a proper Premier League side, and bloody, I'd much rather them be in the league than Sheffield United or Burnley. So. Yeah, if anything, I'm quite happy in that.
Yeah, the upturn of form is nice to see, considering that, rightly or wrongly, I think we spoke about it a few weeks ago. Whether they got final, whether you think they got the points deduction rightly or wrongly, but it happened, and it's nice to see them bounce back and take it in their stride. It's quite an interesting week. So obviously, last week the club confirmed that their stadium move has been put back 12 months. So I think initially they were going to move in. This will be our last season.
I think 1 more year at Goodison now.
Because it was going to be. It was like a 6 months to land the stadium, and they decided rather than end an iconic stadium halfway through the season.
Right.
Because I remember you started at your ground at the end of a season, but you were at Wembley, so you were just desperate to get out of Wembley, so it didn't matter. Whereas you can't finish Goodison. You can't. The last game at Goodison can't be November the 6th, can it?
Yeah.
Just can't.
And then next week we're playing. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So they've decided to do that, and also it's a big week coming up for Everton. I don't know who they've got. They've got you at the weekend.
They've definitely got us in the league. Yeah.
Tomorrow night they've got quarter-final Carling Cup game, Carabao Cup against home to Fulham. Winnable game.
Huge chance to get to the semis.
To get a semi-final, 2-legged semi against Liverpool are still in there, Newcastle, Chelsea, but the low-hanging fruit isn't it Port Vale versus Middlesbrough or something like that?
I think West Ham are still in it, aren't they?
Yeah, West Ham, Liverpool, but Liverpool is still in it.
Yeah, okay. You never know.
Who are the two championship teams? Or they're in a quarter-final.
There's two sides.
I think it's Borough and Port Vale or something like that.
Yeah, Port Vale. Yeah, I think Port Vale and Borough. Yeah, they might be the other game.
You could. It's all. I know. Like
that's what you want.
It's all if and but you take Borough over a 2-legged semi-final, getting a final. You are chomping at the bits.
Yeah, and if Dyche
can stay them up and get them to Wembley, what a season!
Yeah. If they carry on like they are, they'll be comfortable mid-table and potentially in a semi-final and focusing on that. It could be a totally different outlook for Everton and Dyche.
I actually think it was for my own personal view on Everton. I think my opinion on the club changed. Not the club. My opinion on how good they are. When they beat West Ham 1-0. That was a performance that not a relegation fodder team would do, because that was Sean Dyche finally getting a click out of them. That was when the rumours were happening about the 10 points. He was picking up these away wins, which are crucial. That's what they haven't done for years. I can't remember the exact stat, and it was quite funny. I did retweet it on Saturday night. It was Sean Dyche has picked up more points this season. That's the same size as last season under Frank Lampard. Including the 10-point deduction.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think, last 8 games,
something mad like that.
They've lost 2, won 5, drawn 1. So that's pretty good form. Like, that's top 7 form, really. Probably top 8 form. But that sort of first game when it happened, the deduction against United, and it was sort of the whole atmosphere, and that was killed off by Garnacho scoring that ridiculous goal. But then, like we said, the four in a bounce without conceding is very, very impressive. Yeah,
that's some way to get rid of your 10-point deduction. Win 4 out of the 5 games, only conceding. We don't just concede any goals and then victories.
I just think it's almost backs up against the wall. It's like you said. I think you said before about something. But it's us against the world. Everybody hates us, right? We're just going to go out there and fight for our group of players, the staff, the team, and the fans, and it's working.
And they've got you Saturday at Hart Lane?
Well, at Spurs, and now that's suddenly quite a difficult game.
Well, you think like they could go up there and make it really difficult for you.
Yeah, expect nothing less now. And
an interesting stat is Everton average 39% possession every game so far, but that's what they do. They sit in And then one of their main best players so far has been Decore, who just bombs it, plays in that one above the 4 in midfield, and just bombs into the late arriving runs. Scored the goal that kept him up last year, and I think maybe even the year before. The winner at home against Bournemouth. Very important player for that side.
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy for my man Dyche.
Right, shall we move on to another team flying?
Yeah, your mate. Good evening.
Before we go, did you watch any of that carnage that just between Mopé and and Buddy?
I didn't see any football
Martinez
from the weekend, to be honest, apart from the highlights. And I watched the Brentford Villa highlights earlier on today, and just it was a.
Is Mopé the most dislikable man in football?
Yeah, Villa were just not cruising, but they were slightly dominating. But Brentford 1-0 up. Then the red card happened, but then Mopé just. I don't know, just getting involved and trying to wind people up. Martinez then got involved. We'll get on to it. It's just a madness of the last sort of 25 half an hour in a game is ridiculous.
And on that red card, the ref is standing right in front of that challenge. How are you not sending him? How are you not sending him off for that in like normal time?
Yeah.
He books him and then looks at it. I was like, oh,
I don't.
You're literally right there.
I don't want to talk because the Liverpool game, the refs, they're just every week is embarrassing. But
I'm going to ask you a straight question: can Aston Villa win the Premier League?
Yes. Do I think they will? No. I think yes, because you can't say otherwise because of Leicester and what happened in that season. That was Villa in a far better position and a far better side than Leicester were. So yes, of course they can win the league, but I don't think they will.
What is really interesting is that obviously there's some sort of stat about who's top at Christmas and blah, 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 and blah. I think the only team that's been top more times at Christmas and not won the league is Arsenal. If there's not a winner between Arsenal and Liverpool on Saturday night, Villa 99% will spend top because they've got Sheffield United at home.
That's what we said before. I wanted to talk about as the top teams as a whole because of that reason, because exactly what you're talking about. And it sounds stupid and almost obvious, but Liverpool, Arsenal or Villa could be top all going into the new year, as in one of those could be top, any one of them at this moment in time. Because of that game, Liverpool, Arsenal, someone's going to drop points, or you could both drop points. And Villa, I think, Villa's thing, they've got
Sheffield United at home. And then they've got Man United.
They've got, Sheffield United at home, Man United away, and Burnley at home. That is an incredible run of fixtures. And that's what I mentioned to you previously, but timings of fixtures, that is perfect. I know, yes, Villa have done incredibly well to get to where they are, but now you've got Liverpool away, they've got Sheffield United at home, and they've got a struggling Man United, and they've got Burnley at home at awful. So they could potentially pick up 9 points here, and you could drop some and get 7. And that, I think they would be level or might be 1 point ahead of you if that happened. But so the time of fixture is perfect for them, and that is an incredibly tough period. And historically, Christmas and all the rest of it, Boxing Day fixtures, and everybody says how hard it is. But you couldn't ask for a better 3, I don't think. Yeah,
and they top their group in Europe, so that means they don't have to play that midweek, that round of 32 game
thing,
in February. So that's an extra fixture they miss. They're not in the Carabao Cup, so they have a little bit of a rest midweek. And like I said, the time and the fixtures are everything, but everyone plays against over twice and blah blah blah. They've also just had to play Man United and Man City and Arsenal in a week and beat them both.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They've got to this point, and they've like you said, they've played City, Arsenal in a space of a couple of days and won both. But Liverpool against Arsenal, like I said, someone is losing points there.
And it was a telling moment, I think, for Villa's title run or season, I call it. Brentford away was one of the games I actually bookmarked them. I thought it's not often they win. Spurs away, City at home, Arsenal at home, and then you're normally like, you're going to drop points somewhere. You have to, because they drop points away at Bournemouth unexpectedly, because I think as players and as fans as well, you just don't take them games as serious. No. You think you're going to go in there and steamroll them. And at 1-0 down at half-time, I wasn't too surprised. And maybe if the red card hadn't happened, they might have dropped points. But winning away at Brentford meant the 12th victory in 17 games, which is...
And like I said, Villa run 25 games in 2020 in the whole calendar year, which is their most top-flight wins in their whole of their history. So it shows you how good they're doing, how they're performing at their absolute best, I think.
Like we mentioned last week, even in the team, 15 wins on the trot at home is nuts.
Yeah, it's unheard of. Or unless you're Man City, I suppose. But have they even done that?
Yeah, Man City done it, yeah. But even like the Arsenal's invincible. Wenger never did it. It was all the managers we named. Conte never did. The good teams he had at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Never managed to do it.
But I know it's I don't know, maybe it's me being like biased, or still got the ump about it, but when they played us, there could have been a totally different game, and yes, they won the game, and Brentford was almost quite similar, and everyone says, oh, even if you're playing bad, you win, then it shows you a good signs of a good side. But we did really well against them at home. We could have been 2-0 up, 3-0 up, who knows? And Brentford were 1-0 up, and the game they weren't cruising, Brentford, but up until the sending off, it was like that plucky old Brentford. They were frustrating them and all the rest of it. So yeah, but like I said, Villa are flying at the minute and getting the results.
I mean, I do think them sort of things will level out.
Yeah, agreed.
But on the flip argument, Unai Emery has 81 points this calendar year, and that's only surpassed by Manchester City, which is nuts. When you actually think of it as everyone says, "Oh, they'll fall off," and history says they probably will fall off. But from January, this is what probably frustrate. Well, me and you can probably relate. I think, how many times have you seen Spurs, and I've definitely seen Arsenal do it? They're top of the calendar year table. Spurs, it's really annoying because it's like, oh, why do we put it between January and December? Yeah. But we can't put it the whole season. Yeah. Like, it's just Arsenal used to do it. I've seen Arsenal top of that league table so many times. But
Spurs have done similar to you the last few years when we Poch and Kane and all the rest of it. It was same idea. But
calendar year.
Suddenly there's a 2-month gap between that, so it doesn't equate. But in saying that, there was something about Eddie Howe when he turned up at Newcastle, and that again, the similar time period, they were technically third or fourth, but they ended up in the Champions League at the end of it all. So maybe Villa, I think they'll be right. They'll be in the top five. The top five at the minute, as it is, Tottenham, City, Villa, Liverpool, Arsenal. That will be the top five. Who knows where they'll be and where they'll place, but. Yeah, I think that'll be the top five.
Glad you just mentioned that point, because Aston Villa are currently 9 points above fifth place Newcastle, which is
quite substantial.
It's quite a significant gap, I think. Although Newcastle now crashed out of Europe, can literally just focus on the league. But obviously, there's still more than half the season to play. I think we've got 19 is halfway through, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a little stat if you like, but so the top five could all be on 40 plus points heading into the new year. So at the end of this Christmas period, so 20 games basically, and it would be the first, well, not the first time, but last season it didn't happen. 21-22 it didn't happen, and 2021 and not all top five were on 40 plus points going into new year, and that could quite easily happen, which is asking a lot of Spurs and City. But yeah, I think that top five could be quite a gap, and I think they will have. I don't think Tottenham will win the league, but us and Villa will have a massive say in what happens in the title. That's for sure.
One, I want to say cause for concern. I don't want to damp down too much on Aston Villa. I know a lot of clubs are in this predicament, but them especially, I think they are one injury, perhaps two, away from just complete kibble. And I think it's goalkeeper and striker. Yeah. The two key positions for them that they just can't. The quality they have, like they do have good. I think they've got good depth in central midfield with Kamara, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, and they've got can't remember who else comes in and out. But the wingers, they've got pretty good depth. But them two positions, just think you can't.
Yeah, and you just
can't replace that.
You've seen it with Spurs, you've seen it with Newcastle, and even City again without Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland, and when Rodri goes missing. Okay, City is still up there, still a brilliant side, but yeah, they are worse. And Villa, who are a worse side than City anyway, and then if you add in that Watkins might be not there or the goalie might be missing, couple centre halves, who knows what happens in the new year? Yeah, they'll drop off, I think, and massively. Yeah, that will affect them. What
do you think Ollie Watkins' ceiling is as a player? Do you think he can go on and be? Obviously, he's playing in a team that's third in the table. Do you reckon he could go Man United? Someone like that? Would Liverpool have a look at him? Would Spurs have a look at him?
I think I don't know. Villa.
But if Villa are getting better,
yeah. If it sounds really stupid, but if Villa are top 5, then that is. I think he can be he is a top 5-ish around that position, and depending if that's Spurs, if that's Newcastle, yeah, I think Villa is his ceiling, if that makes any sense. And what they're currently doing, that is really good, and he's part of that. But I think if a side wanted him, a Newcastle or Tottenham, maybe an Arsenal, I don't know, but back your striker situation, if you're looking for something, if they want something different, yeah, I think you would go to most sides, and they are Tottenham would offer probably more money. They are a bigger team. Newcastle definitely would offer more money. So yeah, I think that could happen. Who knows? No,
it's an interesting one, and obviously Unai Emery getting all the plaudits. He even got applauded yesterday for getting booked.
Yeah.
Pulling apart the scuffle.
That was ridiculous, wasn't it? That was mental.
Them two have a bit of back and forth, because that was, I don't know if you ever saw like what's the word, like I think it's called the butterfly effect, when something happens that then causes a something to happen down
future
the line.
Event. Yeah.
And it was the iconic lockdown game, Brighton versus Arsenal. This is where the quote unquote rivalry stemmed from. And Mopé,
he's always involved, isn't he?
Yeah, the ball. It was a nothing ball over the top. Leno had it nice and comfortable, and Mopé came and just cleaned him out. And he ended up doing his MCL.
Oh, he done Leno's knee?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Leno was out for like 4.5 months.
God.
Martinez never played for Arsenal for years. Every time he played was crap. Came in and was really, really good for that. I think it was like 15 games. But that was when we won the FA Cup, and he was really good plan throughout the rest of the lockdown season, and instrumental in winning the FA Cup, making great saves and whatnot. Come to the summer, Leno's fit. Martinez has been number 1 for God knows how long. He's made his international debut for Argentina. Argentina have always been a good team, but always had crap goalkeepers.
Yeah, so true.
They always have.
Yeah.
And he was at a crossroads. So I want to be number 1, but I'd say most Arsenal fans, I think it was quite 50-50 actually. I would always back Leno, because I thought, is it a bit of a fluke that he's been at Arsenal 8 years and was rubbish for 8 years. Like,
yeah.
If you were that good, you would have made an impression on someone, and you got sent out on loan so many times. But we decided with Leno, then sold Martinez, and he went on to. Oh, he's a World Cup winner, and now he's the best goalkeeper. I
just think that.
But that's what stemmed from Mopé, and it's weird that he's all, like you said, he's always
involved.
Round, yeah,
that was it was very, very bizarre. I think what's the word, like. It was a comedy show. It was theatrics. It was just very, very unnecessary, and people got involved, and then Kamara got sent. And rightly so, he got sent off for throwing his hands into one of the Brentford players. Just bizarre, very bizarre.
Brentford, bit unlucky. I think they'll kick themselves for that. Even Ollie Watkins was just causing a stir.
Yeah, but
he's
when he celebrated, that's again, I mentioned someone later on, but his celebration sort of added a bit of spice to the game, and I mean, even the Ben Mee tackle was obviously a straight red. Yeah, so like maybe I don't know what was going on that game inside the Brentford Stadium, but everyone was well up for it. And
on a Sunday at 2:00, that's like the worst time for any game.
Maupay was just playing tricks, and whenever I think of Maupay and see him doing that, I always think of, like you just explained, but the stuff with Brighton and Arsenal, just like bizarre, because he's almost so bad at football.
Guendouzi strangled him.
Yeah,
it was all going
he's just so bad at football. He has to make up for it in that sense. But briefly, I know we want to talk about other things, but briefly on Liverpool Arsenal, we can talk about that, talk about Arsenal, whatever. But that game obviously now is a massive, massive game. Last time Arsenal won in the league at Anfield was 2012.
Abu Dhabi.
No. 2012, you won 2-0. Podolski and Cazorla.
Oh, it was Abu Dhabi man of the match.
Scored the goals. But can you name the player that came on for Fabio Borini in the 54th minute for Liverpool? It was obviously 2012. You had
John Joe Shelby.
Close. It was
Jay Spearing.
No. John Shell was in the squad. I think he might have come off the bench for someone else. But one more guess. A midfielder. English midfielder.
It wasn't Henderson, was it?
No.
No.
Stuart Downing. Yeah, their side, they had like Glenn Johnson, obviously Stuart Downing. Henderson was playing at the time, obviously much younger. And talk about goalies. Who was in goal for Arsenal that day?
Vito Mahoney.
It
and
was
Cole
Mahoney.
Jenkinson was right back.
Yeah, your team.
Lauren Koscielny, Perma, Azaka, Kieran Gibbs, Mikola Teta, Abu Diaby was man of the match. Then you would have had Podolski, Santi Cazorla, Oxlade Chamberlain, and Giroud. Giroud missed an absolute sitter in that game. That was...
You named a few.
You type in Abu Diaby versus Liverpool.
Go.
That is that is so many views on that video.
That was the best he
played like a... The comparison was always, he's the new Patrick Vieira. That game, he was prime Yaya Toure, like a joke.
Yeah, I think who your centre backs? Mertesacker and Koscielny, and I think you had Vermaelen came on. Like, it was an old school
purple and blue kit.
Yeah, but shows you how tough Anfield is. The last two results against Liverpool recently have been good. At home 2-2, at Liverpool 2-2 and beat them at home. So recent form, that's what you're concerned about. But you haven't won there since 20.
Bar that, we have been battered there for years.
Yeah, and like anyone, that is Anfield away is.
It's the Holy Grail.
It's the toughest game.
It's the Holy Grail. No one wins that. Only Leeds United have won there. Like, I think Leeds United. What was that stat where last year we said Leeds United are the only team to win there with fans since
1902 or something.
Yes, some absolutely ridiculous.
It is so hard. And it's almost like. It's a weird one, but I don't think if Liverpool win, they're going to win the league. But I think if you lose, that is a massive... And again, I don't think you'll definitely not win the league, but I think if you do lose, then that is almost you out of it, which sounds ridiculous. But I just think Anfield, Liverpool way is very tough.
No, it's a tough one. I haven't really thought about it too much.
You don't want to. You start sweating.
It scares me a bit.
Well, they have got the worst striker, so...
They're playing with 10 men. Against us last season.
Nah, he's absolute cack. He's also should have been sent off.
I'll touch on that later.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. What I am a bit concerned about is Zinchenko's form going into that game.
Hopefully he plays.
No, we don't have a left back.
Oh, what? Tomiyasu not?
Tomiyasu's out till he's out injured till like January, and then Asia Cup, so we're not getting him back till like February.
So you need
with Timber out with ACL.
Yeah.
I'm just worried because you've got the GOAT on the right-hand side. Yeah. Mo Salah is just a joke.
Zinchenko's got to defend. He can't.
He can't
dominate the ball, which you probably won't at Anfield. So, yes.
Yeah,
could be. And so it was a pretty shocking game, wasn't it? Liverpool United. So maybe they're saving it.
But we do have someone who we'll mention later in the team of the week that.
True.
We haven't had him before.
Very true.
Bloke's a joke.
Should we have a quick discussion of relegation sides and relegation teams?
Yeah, so we won't touch on it. Obviously, the sad news happened at Luton and Bournemouth. That was a real relegation game with Tom Lockyer. Also, I think apart from the Moran, that hasn't been a abandoned game in the Premier League for years. Obviously, Moranball's FA Cup.
Yeah, we spoke about it the weekend actually, didn't we?
And I think they're saying they're going to replay the game from minute 1.
Bloody hell. I didn't even... I saw it said abandoned. Obviously he said a horrific injury. I didn't have any idea it was him until later, but terrible.
But just going down from them teams, Palace, great point away at City. Everton, we've touched on loads. Forest are a strange one. There's some rumours that the manager might get sacked, and I think that's just...
I think if he goes, they get relegated. I think it could be real bad if they...
One of the things...
But if he stays, I think they're fine. They're
I think regardless, unfortunately, I think they'll be fine. I think he should stay because I actually quite like the bloke, and I think who else are they going to get?
Yeah.
And just in them three, like Luton, Burnley, and just another poor result.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, they sacked the manager, lost 2-0. Although, granted, Liverpool and Chelsea they've played. Although they won actually, they won their first game, didn't they? They played.
Oh, I don't play.
Bournemouth, maybe was it?
I think it was Bournemouth at home, 1-0.
Something like that, yeah.
So it wasn't.
No, they lost to Bournemouth actually 3-0. That's got them sacked. Maybe they beat.
They did. It played someone like not good, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Might have been Brentford. I think it was Brentford.
Yeah, it was. Great shout, Brentford. It was.
But I just look at the team. The goals for 12 goals. Sheffield United 16. 36 conceded. Burnley 43 conceded. Sheffield United. Unless they could do something massive in January, and I mean like, I actually saw I'm looking at him right now. And it was a quick YouTube video, and it was
Big Eric.
One player each club should sign, and Burnley was like Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
he's got 6 months left in his contract. Whether Spurs will let him go on a free or on a loan for 6 months to go, I'm going to put this in inverted commas. Premier League proven. I don't always think that's a plus.
Yeah, well, I think Eric Dyer for a bottom side like that would be very.
I'm going to put
good.
him in the same category as someone like Ross Barkley, who's lost his way a bit and needs his confidence back, because at his peak of his powers, I think quite a lot of Spurs fans liked him, and he was always played, whether he played in midfield, and Poch really got a tune out of him.
Yeah.
Obviously, last few days he's lost his way, but there's players like that around clubs that aren't playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I agree. I think.
I'm not saying Eric Dyer is going to keep signing him is going to keep him up, but you know what I mean.
He'd be if I was one of them, I'd be trying to get him definitely if there's something you could work out. But yeah, I wouldn't even say you'd keep them up, but yeah, I think those 3 are gone. I think they're just. We said it previously. Yeah, they're just pretty shocking, aren't they?
Have you got any outsiders for Europe? I think Brighton.
What for Europe?
Brighton are a funny one for me, and I also want to touch quickly on West Ham because we had a. They're flying.
They're doing all right, aren't they? Yeah, let me get the tweet up. Go
on. Brighton for me. So I was really, really impressed with them yesterday, and I haven't seen a team at the Emirates for that long that consistently play out from the back, no matter what pressure they're under. And they were superb at it. They didn't create much going forward, granted, because I think they were struggling a bit from the Thursday, Sunday. I think it's the first time they've done it, first time they've been in Europe, and it does take a toll on the players. They've got a big squad, Brighton, and every week they seem to have a new youngster playing or a random player like Lallana just played. I can't remember seeing Lallana play for years. Then they had João Pedro come on, Ferguson started, Matoma came on, and then they had a new fullback that came, and Veltman was playing.
Yeah, and they've like everyone else, well, not everyone else, but a few sides have had some big old injuries. And
like they got the guy. Remember that guy scored that belcher against Man City? The youngster, he's been injured all season. Yeah, he's been injured all season. And they've got that Bonaventura. That's not how I pronounce his name, but he's number 40. Yeah. He came on. He's been injured for a little while. Welbeck came back yesterday. Then they've had that random winger. What's his name? He's just scored a few goals. Signing early in the season. Like I don't know. I don't know half.
But they
just
work. Yeah, they seem to work. Yeah.
But yesterday, I just think they just looked a bit tired. And I think it's you can't consistently sell top players, and like they've just got rid of Casado and McAllister. Yeah. That's massive for them. But hats up, they are still doing absolutely superb. They're into the next round of the Europa League after they won the group. 26 points in 9th. They're only 3 points off 6th. Like,
yeah. If they can get back into Europe, they'll be buzzing. If that's Conference League or not or whatever, they'll be well happy. Yeah. And like I said, I think they're focused more on the Europa League this season, and so they should be. We're talking about Brighton. That's incredible for them. So, yeah, I think those sort of sides, and like you said, mentioned West Ham. I've got the tweet up here. 1 second. West Ham are 7th in the league, finished 1st in the Europa League group. They're in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. They're the 3rd top scorer in the league. 1 defeat in 9 games. That sounds pretty good to me.
Considering Moisey out,
the Messiah. Yeah, apparently they want David Moyes out.
But they played some good football yesterday, didn't they? With old Kudos and Paqueta.
Yeah, I mean,
we are winding up, but it's also. But I don't know. What else do you need?
Yeah. Do you want to Graham Potter in and finish 18th? Probably not. So, I don't know. I think this just could be like the classic grass isn't always greener.
I think they'll beat United at the weekend as well. Is it it's at the London Stadium, isn't it?
Not sure.
If it's at the London Stadium, I'll say West Ham win.
Let's have a look.
I've got a feeling teams play back-to-back home and away games this week.
Yeah, home at 12:30 though. Draw. 1-1 draw. Yeah, curse of the early kickoff. But yeah, they're just, I don't know. Yeah.
But again, like I said, they've consistently been. Obviously, last year was a dip, but they won a trophy. They've consistently been under Moyes between 8th and 6th. Up like they have, haven't they? I'm thinking lockdown Lingard, that sort of season, where he just couldn't stop winning. You know that bloke still hasn't got a club.
Yeah, he's young though.
Is he a player?
He's up and coming.
Is he a player that Luton could go and get?
Nah, Forest tried it, didn't they, last season, and he's a waste.
Yeah,
he's a waste. And they stayed up, and I think I said it, but he also didn't have any good or bad impact. He just
he had no good impact.
Yeah,
did he?
He was just there. So no, I think Lingard is definitely a waste of time.
I just think there are players.
Definitely like Forest got Hudson-Odoi, and I think that's it hasn't been superb, but that's one of those like Barkley, potential Eric Dyer. Like that's a good little find. It's one of those, it's one of those you look for. You think, come out of the blue, but that'd be ideal.
Right. Should we talk about Team of the Week? Or
let's do it.
Roll on to Team of the Week. So, it was just quite funny, actually. We were going for our Team of the Weeks, and there was actually quite a few goalkeepers this week. Normally we struggle for a bit of a goalkeeper, but I put Henderson down, and Jack was like, who's he play for? But the reason I picked him is because he made his Crystal Palace debut in an away game against Manchester City. Made a few really good saves and was a good... Where's that then? I'm so thirsty. Was one of the main reasons they got the draw away at Manchester City and making his debut, and probably now will retain his place over Sam Johnson potentially, because they spent a lot of money on him in the summer, like £15 million, I think. For
and
Palace.
Like you said, that was his debut. That's not obviously. I in the back of my mind I knew he was at Palace, but that's why he's just not played at all. I was like, Henderson, what are you talking about, Dean? I was like, I couldn't get Forest out of my head. I was like, he's definitely not the goalie for them. But
they think they probably should have signed, and they signed that idiot Matt Turner.
Idiot.
He is just that's a reason why he never played a Premier League game for Arsenal.
Shocking.
Just disaster of a bloke.
Yeah. No,
he just looks like a child in goal. And he's not. He's like 28.
Wrists. Yeah, he's very strange. But Dean Henderson, Team of the Week, goalie. And then I'll start. First defender, I've gone for Johnny Evans of Man United, 35 years old. They've been up and down, bit of a torrid time for Ten Hag and United. They got some shambolic players, but clean sheet at, like we're saying, the fortress that is Anfield. And he got attacked by Nunes in the centre of his chest. I bet it hurt so much. Johnny Evans, the battered Northern Irish centre half.
And his defensive partner this week is Dan Burn, returning from injury. But he came on, I think, about half an hour in after Cher pulled up with the old classic. He got the ball like maybe 25 yards out, went to drive into midfield. Hammy ping, and he fell on the floor, and he was like,
it's not funny because Van der Ven happened.
Danny Burn, Dan Burn came back with a goal and clean sheet playing at centre half. So
nice, very nice.
What a great way to come back from injury.
So the midfield, I'll let Tate go with the other player, but the vote this week for you guys, we've gone for Mohamed Kudus and Paqueta from West Ham. Kudus with 2 goals, Paqueta with a hat-trick of assists. I think they're probably West Ham's 2 best players at the minute. And that's between you guys who's going to slot in next to Lawrence Tate's best mate.
Both very good performances and good goals and good assists and good players as well. My midfield player is quite simply Declan Rice. I've just put notes next to him. Joke. Yesterday, there was rumours before the game that he wasn't going to play because he was ill, apparently. My God, what a performance. Like, he was so good. Like, just everywhere. Tackles, interceptions, running, taking shots, winning headers. Literally, anywhere you wanted. As soon as Brighton had the ball, like, any sort of danger, where's that? Rice is there. 94th minute, Rice is there. First minute, Rice is there. He nearly scored a great goal. He got the ball on the left-hand side. He's not aesthetically that pleasing to watch. Like he looks like he's labouring when he runs.
When he's obviously incredible, but he looks quite awkward when he gets in dribbles.
And
but
he did a turn, like it did everyone in the crowd, because the crowd's like, but it doesn't look like a Santi Cazorla turn. But he could have scored a great goal. And I remember sitting at the pub on Saturday night, and I was speaking to a West Ham fan, Tony. I said I appreciated he was a good player, but I did not think he was this good. And he is just. He's the only reason we are top of the league. Because if he didn't have him, we'd be stuck with Thomas Partey, who's played 2 games all season, and then we'd be playing Jorginho and El Neni.
I was going to say, you'd be playing all sorts, because Arteta wouldn't be happy with Jorginho one week, and then he would try and say, Partey would be in and out, and No, Rice.
I actually forget Thomas. But normally, when the last 3 years or whenever we've had him, I think, I wish he would stay fit because we need him. He's so crucial. Now I don't care now. Like I would like him to play, and I think if you could have a double pivot of them two, it would be a very, very good base in midfield. But no, I just don't care.
Yeah. No, Rice is West Ham going about him, and rightly so. And he was very good for them. And every time we played him, and probably you didn't really watch him that much, but because of the Tottenham West Ham games, like I say, there's always that feeling about him. Rice was always good, no matter what the result was. So yeah, we were well aware of how good he is. But
no, it was close to being my run of the week, but he was. I think Arsenal played 17 games this season. I think he's been man of the match 12.
Yeah,
it's just.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's just, and there's a compilation going around online if people want to watch it, and he's just. But that performance was just like I haven't seen anything like that good in centre midfield for Arsenal for years, and we. I won't say too much about the game, but we battered them for 94 minutes. That game should have been.
Did Brighton have a shot? They had two. Maybe?
They had one shot in like and I was panicking, a little bit job. I was panicking because I thought it's just going to be typical Arsenal. We battered them, we get one goal, and then the 81st minute, Pablo Gross misses a sitter. That's the only chance they created, and they've scored every single game this season.
Yeah.
I think that run goes back till February as well.
Yeah.
But they had no chances whatsoever. And that was the only chance. And Rice was one of the main reasons that every time the ball went up to them, Saliba or Gabriel straight up the striker and Rice in front. Bang, get the ball back, go again. And yeah, fantastic. Right, I'll leave you to end the team of the week. Our number 9.
Yeah, I won't go on about him like Tate's just gone about Rice, but yeah, forward. Richarlison scored a lovely header Friday night at Forest. Just good little goal, good win for us. So yeah, Richarlison forward.
Yeah. Winner of the week, or should we do prediction first?
Let's do prediction
because it's your.
Yeah, I think
go.
It's my choice.
It's silly season now though because I didn't realise Is it the M3 derby? Is on Thursday night. Brighton versus Palace.
Yeah,
that's on Thursday. You've got obviously Friday is Villa, and Saturday there's a couple of games, Saturday games, and then there's a Christmas Eve game on the Sunday.
Wolves Chelsea.
Christmas Day is off. Boxing Day.
All right, hang on. Should we do a double prediction?
Yeah, let's do a double one.
So on my phone, I've got round 18. And it'll be from the Premier League this week. So I'll pick a game from round 18 and I'll pick a game from round 19. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so round 18. Let's go. What did you call it? What derby did you call it?
What's it called? I don't know whether my geography is crap.
Palace.
I still called it M3. I don't know where the M3
could
is.
Could be. But yeah, let's go for that one. Thursday night, Palace at home to Brighton. Do you want another game first, or do you want to go for that?
No, this could be this round. Let's go. I'm gonna go home win.
Nice.
Just 2-1. 2-1.
I'm gonna go 1-1. I think 1-1.
And then you're gonna go for the double one.
And then round 19. Boxing Day. Do we go Boxing Day? Yeah, we'll pick one of the Boxing Day fixtures. And we'll go with Man United at home to Villa.
Ooh. That's the late kickoff,
That's
isn't
at 8 o'clock, yeah, on Boxing Day, Tuesday.
0-2.
Ooh, I like it. I'm going to go Aston Villa 3, Man United 3.
A thriller on.
Yeah, we'll throw it out there. Go on. 2 draws, 3-3.
Right. I like that. Winner of the week. Hopefully it'll be us after this podcast if the way the mics work.
I've looked at it on and off and it seems very good. Probably too loud this week, but it is what it is. Yeah, just turn it down.
And if not, we don't know what we've done.
Yeah, if not, we'll just call it a day and 75 will be us.
Right, my win of the week is, we talk about just Crystal Palace, Roy Hodgson. Little old boy.
Please explain.
Little old boy. There's a clip going around of him laughing at Pep after they think I got the penalty or there was the decision when it went 2-2, and I think he should have been sacked probably a couple of weeks ago. I don't think he's the right person for Palace, but little old boy somehow is always a thorn in Pep Guardiola's side.
I don't know how.
The massive team that Pep Guardiola has assembled, all the superstars, but little old boy and his boys from Croydon always get a result at the Etihad.
Yeah,
always, somehow.
South London cage ballers.
When they're like 85 minutes, they were 2-0 down and they still got a point.
yeah, they are. Palace and City is similar to Spurs. They're just weird bogey side. But Roy Hodgson.
It could have been Elise for that. The absolute cojones on that penalty. Sit Ederson down. Oh my god. 94th minute at the Etihad. Can you imagine if that was who takes it? Well, Son takes penalties now. You're 2-1 down. 98th minute. 94th minute. That could be the absolute balls to do that. the feeling you must have once you've done that, you think, I am fucking good at football.
I am him. Nice, yeah. Well, I'll carry on a theme of managers. My win of the week is Sean Dyche. Since the loss to the 10 points, they've suddenly come alive, and we are witnessing, in the words of the famous Jose Mourinho, football heritage. None of this, if you're Sean Dyche, none of this inverted fullback, picking the ball up in the half space, false nines, playing out from the back, setting up so you can counter press and avoid the opposition press so you can then launch your own press. No. Dyche is well aware of his settings. And he understands what Everton need and what the blue side of Merseyside need. A football side who are going to give every team they play grief. And like he said in reference to Lewis Dobbins' celebration against Chelsea the other week, to make it 2-0, he said, everybody nowadays wants to do a dance. He runs to the corner, slid on his knees, and went, have that. Who thinks they can dance? Everyone piled on, and I loved that. Sean Dyche. Yeah, he's the man. Winner of the week, Dyche, baby.
I like that a lot. That comment was funny in his press conference, wasn't it? Yeah, that's a proper celebration.
Yeah, he hesitated, doesn't he? Everyone filled in the gaps for him, but he worded it correctly.
Every week we don't ever talk about our winners loop or losers loop before, but I've got a feeling we might have the same loser of the week.
Possibly, if you saw a clip on Twitter.
I don't know. My loser of the week is Michael Oliver.
Oh, no. Yeah, go on, carry
on. We touched on briefly. A couple of years ago, we sent Martinelli off for 2 yellows, and the bloke hadn't even made a foul before. He hadn't been officially awarded a foul before he'd been given his second yellow. So, whether you agree with that rule or not, he seems to be the one person who wants to stop introducing this rule. Not so much for the Dallo one, because I can understand. I have more sympathy with the Dallo one, that he's done it for the first one and then he's done it again.
Oh no,
I still think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
but what annoys me the most is the inconsistent. If you want to be the man to create this new rule of booking players twice before they've been booked, then have the balls to show Núñez the first yellow for absolutely hammering Johnny Evans. That some people might even call it an orange card or anything like that. He's got no idea. He just ran straight into him, and then he booted the ball away. What happened to this kicking the ball away was an instant yellow card. And it's just nonsense. Like we said it right at the beginning of the season. They go too hard on these rules. And right at the beginning, people get silly red cards for all nonsense, and then they start thinking, "Oh, we've gone too harsh," and then they die off again. And it happens every year. But there's no way he's sending off a player for doing what Dallo did in the 20th minute for that. He's just not.
No.
The same referee who quote unquote said to Howard Webb he didn't want to send Kovacic off for making 2 bad tackles because it would have ruined the flow of the game. Okay, mate.
Yeah. And on the Núñez one, Núñez threw his elbow into Evans. He then literally lumped the ball towards the goal. Still missed, in fact, because he's so bad. And then he sarcastically clapped and thumbs up, which is that's worse than what Dallo was doing. So 3 yellows. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And my loser week sort of plays in a similar effect, but I just thought that's why I'm not mentioning the refs really, and I can't be bothered because it's just a waste of our breath. But Michael, what a twat! Excuse my French, but just what an absolute twat. But yeah, very good. My loser of the week is Richard Keys. Basically for talking rubbish. He's on beIN Sports, which is a Qatari-based and owned sports channel. If you're unaware, but yeah, he in reference to Watkins' celebration, his words were Watkins was inciting violence, and the three pundits were 100% disagreeing with him, and basically in shock when he said that. One of them was Andy Gray, obviously they're pals, but yeah, every week there's clips on Twitter and whatever else of Richard Keys and him talking at utter garbage, and yeah, that inciting violence from Watkins when he was just giving some back from what and he comes out and said, and they've said certain things about him personally, whatever, but he was just giving some shit back basically to the fans that give him crap all game, and rightly so. But yeah, Richard Keys for probably an ongoing spouting some rubbish, but yeah, this week Richard Keys loser of the week.
Consistently says outrageous stuff.
Yes.
If you ever actually, for all listeners, if you ever want a little Monday morning cheer up, I do recommend you read Richard Keys' Monday morning vlog.
I didn't know he did one.
Blog of the weekend.
Mm.
He says these outrageous things, and actually, when you see them on paper, I think it's even funnier than watching him say it. They are some of the stuff he comes up with is utterly outrageous, but there you go.
Mm.
Right, November the 10th, 2002, West Ham versus Leeds. James Milner has made 630 appearances in the Premier League, but can you name 8 players that played in his debut game?
Leeds United. Ian Hart.
Number 1.
Alan Smith.
No.
Oh, those are my 2 bankers. Mark Viduka, sorry, I don't know what I said there.
Yes.
Mark Viduka.
I'm letting you pick West Ham players as well.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not, but I'm thinking of Leeds first. West Ham,
Viduka,
2002.
yeah.
Okay.
There's another big one on Leeds you're missing.
God, is that Leeds? Pennant?
No.
Was Rio Ferdinand playing for either side?
No.
It wasn't.
No.
Oh,
Ironically not.
weird. Oh, okay, I'm just going to throw some names out. Aaron Lennon. Don't think he was playing football then.
No.
Robbie Keane.
No.
Oh, God. This is bad news.
Go West Ham.
Okay. 2002 West Ham.
Think some of that team we remember better when Andy came here. We loved that whole team.
Oh, is it that era, maybe? Di Canio?
Yep.
2002. Trevor Sinclair?
Yep.
Oh, who else played in the team? I can just see him, but I can't. Was Hislop in goal?
No.
Dave James?
Yep. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, is it that side? Is it Glenn Johnson?
No.
Oh, for God's sake. Carrick?
Yep.
Joe Cole?
Yep.
Oh, okay, here we
You're
go.
on a roll now. Come on.
Colton Cole?
No.
Oh, for God's sake.
Give me 2 more. Come on, there's 2.
I must have said loads. 2 more, West Ham. Mark Noble?
No.
Oh, okay, come on. This is bad news. What am I doing?
Got 7.
Oh. I've lost it because that Glenn Johnson one's thrown me off. I said Carrick. Oh.
To be fair, 7 is a lot.
Harewood?
No.
It's too early.
Too
Way
early.
too soon. I've said some shockers there. I can't believe Alan Smith is not in there. It's shocking.
He must have been injured because I don't know who the striker is playing for them. But they've got another forward. The West Ham forward.
Oh. Canute.
No.
Oh, bollocks. You're saying the West Ham forward is
West Ham forward, you should know. I think maybe you're thinking it's a bit too early
Defoe.
for him. Yeah.
Defoe. Yeah, you should know that giveaway, but.
And then two for Leeds.
Okay. So all I've said from Leeds is Viduka and Ian Hart.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else who ever played for Leeds. What, a striker for Leeds?
Winger.
Pennant? I've said him, I think.
Yeah.
Pennant.
Goalkeeper.
What, for Leeds?
Yeah.
I'm gone.
But you got 8 though, so.
What's the...
England's number 1.
Oh, Robbo.
Yep.
Paul Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry Kewell.
Yeah. I've never.
And then the only potential one I'd probably make would be Lee Bowyer.
Go through the lead side. Who's
so West Ham, David James, Christian Daly, Ian Pearce, Thomas Repka, Nigel Winterburn, Michael Carrick, Steve Lomas, Joe Cole, Trevor Sinclair, Jermaine Defoe, and Pablo Di Canio. Leeds, Paul Robertson, Lucas Radebe, Terry Lukic, Ian Hart, Gary Kelly, Eric Barkay, Lee Bowyer, Nick Barmby, Harry Kewell, Mark Viduka, and who I assume replaced the suspended or injured Alan Smith, Jason Willock.
Oh, yeah. I know, I do know a few of their names, but yeah, the back four of Leeds.
I did think 8 was maybe a bit.
No, it's good. Good question. Yeah. People will be screaming at the thing again, but that's okay. That was good effort.
Right. Touch wood. Hopefully this sound.
Yeah,
is.
I think
if it isn't, then please. I mean, if it is, then please let us know as well. If it's better.
No. Yeah, appreciate the messages, and obviously last week was noticeably bad because we had quite a few messages, but that's good. We knew about it, but I'm glad people are sending us stuff and saying what's happening because it will help us out, and we think tonight it's gone. Well, hopefully it sounds far better. Whether you like what we're saying or not, that's irrelevant. But as long as you can hear me, it's good, and Tate as well, then that's fine. Right,
we'll leave it there. Talking out loud, I don't actually know when we'll be back. Maybe one over Christmas or maybe one just before New Year's. Don't know. We'll put it out on the socials or whatnot because obviously there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Where Christmas falls on random days and whatnot. We were going to record one Christmas Day, but we thought probably best not to.
Probably should be with our families.
But yeah, lots of football going on. Like I said, silly season in the pubs, silly season in the football. We've got lots of games. Like I said, there's games tonight. There's the older Wagatha Christie derby going on right now between Vardy and Rooney.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Carabao Cup semi-finals, and you've got the Thursday, that motorway derby.
Yeah, the motorway, yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday's Christmas Day, and then we're back Boxing Day, Tuesday, all the way through to New Year's, maybe even like the 4th of January, then leads us into the FA Cup. So lots to happen. So lots might happen. So when we next talk. But again, look, we like to thank you all listening. Merry Christmas to you all listeners.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
But more importantly, stay loyal.
Stay loyal.